Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Mikael Ribbenvik, and I was the former Director General of the Swedish Migration Agency for 7 years. I'm also the chairman of the EUAA, the European Asylum Agency, the chairman of the board. But I'm mainly here as a representative of the advisory committee of the Andan Foundation. This means if I say something controversial, I will be speaking as a former Director General, because then I'm free to say what I want. If I say something about the European Union, I will do that as chair of the management board. And when I contribute with solutions to this maybe insolvable problem, I will be speaking for the Andan Foundation. Anyway, so as we heard, it's grim prospects. I'm no expert in climate change, obviously, but I just remember when I was young and my mom said, you have to put the paper with the paper and the plastic with the plastic because of your grandchildren, for their sake. It was difficult, you know, my grandchildren. And then a few years along, you do it for your children. And now suddenly we're in the middle of it. It's not for our grandchildren or children that we do this. We do it for ourselves because we are right up in it. And we've been for a while, actually. If you look at refugees or displaced persons, the number between 2008 to 2021 was 374 million people displaced because of natural disasters. Now, people don't stay displaced very long when it comes to natural disasters. So the net figure of those 374 million is 8 million that never returned home. So, you know, when the fire stops, the flooding dries out, or the earthquakes subside, people mostly go back home. But still, the net was 8 million. And as we heard the Deputy Minister saying, the World Bank, the prognosis is 200 million displaced in coming years. So it's here, it's happening. And it's very difficult to say sometimes what is the cause of forced migration, because many times the climate change leads to scarcity. Scarcity leads to conflict, and conflict leads to migration. There are many researchers that say that the Syrian conflict had its roots in climate change. I don't know, but I know a lot of people had to flee from Syria. So we know the problem. What's the solution? Well, I'm humbled to even be asked the question, because who knows? I think everybody here sits with their little puzzle. But if we look at the legal remedies that sometimes come up in the debate, I have to be very pessimistic. I was Director for Legal Affairs for many years, and if we look at the remedies, do you have resettlement, that you can move people that are in a very desperate situation to another country? This is totally voluntarily. There's not many countries participating in this, and the participating countries are actually lowering their numbers. Sweden, the country I came from, last year had 5,000 places available for this program. This year, 900. So that is, sometimes they say it's a drop in an ocean, but it's very important drops, however, because every drop is one person. But I don't think that's the comprehensive solution. Then some people say we need to change the Refugee Convention. That's not going to happen. It won't, and if we will ever open up the convention, I think it would be more restricted than opening it up. So everybody is afraid that if we open it up, there will be less protection, not more protection. National laws is also suggested, and here's an example, because Sweden actually amended the law in 1996 to allow for environmental refugees. I remember after the earthquake in Haiti, and the question came up, I think I was Director for Legal Affairs, and I said, can we do something here? And then the first stepping stone was, but what is an environmental refugee? This is a natural disaster. It's not an environmental, so just the definition was problematic. But the case was, we had during these years, we had 140 cases where this was invoked. And we had one person who got refugee status on this ground. And that, when we looked at that, it also happened to be a mal-registration. So it actually was 0. Sweden then repealed this law in 2021. So it's no longer. So I don't think countries will do this. On the European level, we do have the Migration Pact that seems like it's moving forward. That is more a response within the Union. Like in 2015, a lot of people moved through Greece, ended up in Germany and Sweden. Now it's vice versa. The northern countries say you have to take care of everything in the Mediterranean. And neither solution is particularly good. So maybe the Migration Pact can increase the solidarity between the member states, we'll see, but it won't solve the big problem. So for the refugees, you will see that there will be an increased need in the world, but I think that many countries around the world, including EU, will not make it easier. So the refugee will be between a rock and a hard place. So the solution, well, there's no solution, but maybe one little puzzle, and what I'm talking about here from the Andan Foundation, which is a Swiss non-profit organization. It has the vision that, you know, how you could do 100 years ago, you could move to US and build a new life. Or Australia. There were vast territories for a while that was open for people that needed to leave, who wanted to build a new future. Today, there are no such territories, and what is offered today is refugee camps. And the average stay in a refugee camp is 17 years. And there's tremendous efforts to take care of these camps, I mean, with water, food, everything. It's good, you know, that's really good. UNHCR is making a really good work with this. There could be schools, there could be everything. But there's one part missing, and that is you are just kept there. You are kept there on an average for 17 years. So the part that's missing is every human being wants to, you know, build their life, do something with their life, get kids and develop. So the vision of Andan is to build global cities. And it is a vision, very difficult vision, but to create a city where there's nothing, like Brasilia or something. This needs to be its own jurisdiction, like a sub-entity of a country, but where people would be welcome. They can't go back to their country, they have been displaced, and they can build their future there. And we're working very hard for this, and we'll see what happens because it is quite visionary. But that could be one part of the puzzle. Thank you.